This video will upset some fellow real estate agents out there for sure. There are so many things that home sellers do and say to their real estate agents that can get them into trouble when selling their home and causing that agent they hired to be unethical and dishonest. Now, you're going to want to get a pen and paper out today, as in this video, I'm going to cover things you should never say to a real estate agent when selling your home. Now, let's face it, the real estate industry is always looked at as one of the least trusted professions out there. Like other industries, there are always those that are only looking out for themselves, and they'll do anything to make a buck and move on with zero concern for the clients. Now, the first thing that you never want to tell your real estate agent is that you are in a hurry to sell your home. Yes, when you're meeting with a real estate agent to sell, don't just put your whole financial situation out on the table right away. I mean, the last thing you want is to have the real estate agent think you're desperate to sell your home. This can actually have a real effect on how that agent will strategize to sell your home and in turn, not get you a good price for your home. Saying things like how excited you are to see how quickly you can get an offer is one way to put it out there without, again, showing all your cards. Now, one quick note on this, as through the years I have dealt with this, if you're in a possible default situation and such, now that's a topic of a different conversation. Now, I'm a real estate investor too, and I deal with these situations with clients, and time is of the essence. So when you're interviewing agents, you don't need to show all your cards up front at the initial interview, but if there is a default or you're really behind on payments, then you will need to disclose this quicker, but only after you have made that good decision to have that person represent you. And by the way, click in the link down in the description below or the pinned comments to contact myself, or if you need a good professional in your area. Now, the second thing to never say to a real estate agent, don't reveal what you think your house is worth up front. Before you let that agent even in the door, do your homework up front. You can get on Zillow, look at homes in your area, get an understanding of what homes are worth. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be exact and that you need to know exactly what to do, but at least get an idea by looking at photos, looking at the asking prices, looking at the days on market, and also the important closed prices, as if you're looking around in the area, and at least you'll get a ballpark idea of what your home's worth. Now, the reason you should do this, if you give your agent a number right away, they may just use your price to do a price strategy around your number, and instead of them really digging into the data like they should be doing. Also, an unethical agent might lowball the price for a quick sale, or they may inflate it just to win your listing, knowing that they can push for a price reduction later. Now, we all know our home is our castle and it's worth more than it really is. And the tough position as a real estate agent is telling that homeowner that their home is actually worth less than that homeowner feels it's worth. But if the data points that direction, and say in a market like we're currently in, it's only going to help you in the long run. But either way, you want them to come prepared with the data, such as the comparables, and have them explain in great detail why the adjusted values are what they are. And if that person does not have reliable good data or explanations, then you're going to know you could potentially be selecting the wrong agent. Now, the third thing not to tell your agent when selling is that you plan to do updates to the home to help it sell quicker. Yes, my background doing fix and flips and home renovations to my rentals really helps me understand the things that are the best return on investment, or as we say, ROI, and that are good money to spend to sell your home quicker, knowing what the buyers want. Now, when that agent comes over to look at your home, let them suggest things to you up front. Just listen initially and see if they have a good idea and understanding, and also if they want you to spend money on unneeded updates, or maybe they will say nothing at all about updating your home before listing. But if you say anything up front, they may just agree with you instead of giving you an unbiased opinion of things they know buyers will like and are a higher return on investment. Now, I actually did a video on what not to fix, and it's in the description below, and also it'll be at the end of this video as well. So I recommend you checking that out too. Now, the fourth thing you should never tell your agent up front when selling, that they are the only agent that you're interviewing. Oh yes, again, This is one I see way too much. Now, I have clients say this to me all the time, and most of them are referrals, so it's understandable. But if you're just reaching out to anyone, then do not hire the first one that you talk to. Now, I feel a good rule of thumb is to interview at least 3 different agents. By then, you should have a pretty good feel for who can help you the most. And again, if you're still unsure, there's no problem with interviewing more than that. Now, a good real estate agent, they'll bring their A game when they're meeting with you, especially if you tell them that you're interviewing multiple agents. Trust me, whenever I hear this, even though I always bring a full presentation, nothing drives me more to show what I can do when I'm in competition with others. Now, you'll be surprised though, how many agents are not prepared and feel since you called them or say they were referred to you, that they don't need to do much to win that listing. So always hold them accountable to present to you why they are the ones for the job. Now let's talk about listing time frame. This one, I've seen some crazy agreements. Now I normally do a 90-day agreement, but I've seen some that are 6 months to 1 year, even longer. And there's absolutely no reason you should be committed to anyone for a long term. 3 months is what I do, and I feel that's enough time to get professional photos, professional videos, and all my social media marketing to get that property set up and get that property under contract. Now, obviously, there are markets where things don't sell in 3 months, but you know what? You can always extend that agreement with the current agent, or it gives you the opportunity to try someone else if you feel they aren't delivering for you. Now, some agents feel they need that long-term commitment from you as they don't want to risk being let go after 3 months. But if they're doing a good job of everything that they told you they would do, and you like what they're doing, why wouldn't you stay the course with that agent, is my opinion. But do not let any agent tell you that you have to sign a long-term commitment. You're in the driver's seat on this, not them. So if you want 60 days or 12 months, it's all up to you. But again, in my opinion, 3 months is a good option for you, so you're not committed to someone that may not be the person for you. And let's face it, nobody wants that uncomfortable situation of dealing with somebody they just don't agree with anymore. Now, here's another question that's asked by most potential home sellers, and it always has the same answer most of the time. And that answer isn't always the correct answer, and it just drives me crazy. Now, the question from most sellers, is it a good time to sell? And you know what? I bet 98% of sellers ask this question, and for the most part, they're looking to that agent to help them answer that. And most agents will just say, yes, it's a great time to sell, just to get that listing on the market. Now, the answer to this question, I really feel, is when it fits your situation and your timetable. Now, there are good times to get your home on the market if you have no time constraints or things in life that are making you sell. On the other hand, there are times you must list right away, maybe to a financial hardship, maybe you lost a loved one or a job transfer, and that's where a good agent can step in and help you decide in your timetable. Now, they need to understand your situation, and again, you need to be careful on this one, as there are those agents out there that really need listings, and they will do or say anything to get it. Now, this is a big decision on your end to sell, and it should be conveyed to your agent what your goals are and your timelines on what is best for you and not your agent or that agent that you're interviewing. This next one I also have happened a lot. Again, it's with referrals, but a lot of people do this all the time. They hire that agent right on the spot. Yes, you might be interviewing an agent and maybe what they are saying hits everything you're looking for and you feel that they're the one. And even though this is a great sign for you, do not hire them immediately. They are not going anywhere, trust me. The best thing to do is if they tell you that they have this great marketing plan, that they're going to stage your home on their dime, that they'll do professional photography and such, just tell them to draft it up in a listing agreement, have them put everything they said in that agreement so you can review it before signing anything with them. Now, don't feel like you're not being trustworthy at all. You're just being very thorough and prepared, and especially since you're going to be locked into them for at least 3 months or more. Now, another thing you don't want to tell your agent when selling your home, at least never early on, is what your lowest selling price is. I mean, you hired this agent to represent you, get you the highest selling price. You did not hire them to get you a rock bottom low price. And if you give them that number early on, some agents will not work to negotiate anything on your behalf and instead will push you to take that bottom number so they can get that deal closed quicker. You need to save that conversation for a later time. Let those offers come in, make that agent work to get you that sell price or close to it, just like they said they would when you first interviewed them. Obviously, the market will speak for itself. If you get many of the same offers and such, then once you build that rapport and now your agent is fighting for you, then it's okay to cover this with them, especially if you're ready to accept that lower price. Now, one thing you can say during the process early on, if they ask you what your bottom line is, just tell them to aim high and get you the best deal possible. Now, we've covered a lot of things not to say to an agent when you're getting ready to sell, but there are things you do need to tell them up front as well. Anything you know is wrong or defective with the home that will need to be disclosed and is required to be disclosed, as let's face it, you don't want to get sued either. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make, so it's worth taking the time to do it right. Now, the goal here isn't to keep secrets from that agent. It's only to set yourself up for success and ensure you're working with someone who truly has your best interests at heart. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with others that may benefit from this. Also, my contact link is down below if you have more questions on this, or maybe you need a good agent referral in your area. And also stay tuned for that video about things not to sell, which is coming up next. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.